All right, for those of you that don't have the prompts that say left and center and right on your calculator, this video is for you, and we're actually going to hop around to another problem or two as well, just so you have a few more examples and just one right after the other. So we're going to start here with G on page 8. So find the values between which 60% of the lifetimes of bulbs will fall. So we're looking for this value here. Oops, sorry. Switch over from the highlighter. From this value, X, okay, so like on the low end, and then Y kind of on the high end. And here in the middle is 60% of the area, okay? Those of you without prompts, your calculator is designed to do the area in the left tail, okay? The area in the left tail. So if you're going to find the value marked X, we need to talk about the area in this left tail here, okay? Because that's what your calculator does. So remember, you've got inverse normal, and then it's area in the left tail, and your mean and your standard deviation. Okay, so if 60% of the area is in the middle, and remember we have 100% of the area stretching from one side to the other, we've got 40% of the area essentially in those two tails on the right and the left, which means we have 20% of the area over there and 20% of the area on the other side. Okay, so when it comes to the inverse normal and we want to find the value of X, we are looking again at the area to the left of X, which is 20% of the area. So what we're going to need to do to get the value of X is do an inverse normal, 20% of area to the left of X, 1550 for the mean, 57 for the standard deviation, and rounding to one decimal place, you should get an answer of 1502.0. Okay, now when it comes to finding Y, remember we want to talk about the area to the left of Y. So what I'm kind of scratching in there, okay, so notice that that area is the 20% of the area that takes us up to X plus the 60% of the area between X and Y. In other words, that percentage of the area, okay, so from here on the left to here is 80% of the area. So to figure out the value of Y, we will do an inverse normal, 80% of the area to the left of Y, mean 1550, standard deviation 57, and we should get 1598.0. So in other words, the middle 60% of light bulbs would be expected to last 1502 to 1598, both of those 0.0 hours. Okay, so you just have to make a little bit of an adjustment to make sure all of your areas are talking about from the left. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually go look at example 2, H and I, because those are using the same kind of technique. I just want to make sure we can get through those, and this will just be one-stop shopping video for you. So we're switching scenarios now, okay? Heights are normally distributed for 20 to 29-year-olds with a mean of 69.2, standard deviation of 2.9. Okay, so we're going to change our perspective just a little bit, and we're going to come down here to H. Okay, and just as a reminder here, we have a mean of 69.2 and a standard deviation of 2.9. All right, so first thing, between what two heights did the middle 80% of 20-somethings fall? All right, so the middle 80%, okay, will fall here, say between our X and our Y. We've got our 69.2 inches there in the middle. So remember, to find the value of X, you're going to need the area that falls to the left of X. So again, if 80% of our area is taken up in the middle, that leaves us with 20% of the area not accounted for, And we then have to split that up over the two ends. So that would be 10% of the area on the left and the right hand tail. So as we are looking to find the value of x, we will do an inverse normal. Sorry, I didn't need a parenthesis there. Get rid of that. Of our 10%, our mean, switching to 69.2, our standard deviation of 2.9. And so on the low end, the height would be 65.5 inches. Okay. When we switch to find our value of y, remember now we're looking for the area to the left of y. So that is the 10% on the far left taking us up to x plus the 80% taking us up to y for a total area of 90. So 0.9, our mean 69.2, our standard deviation 2.9, and that should tell us 72.9. So the middle 80% of 20-somethings are 65.5 to 72.9 inches tall. Okay. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and do I on your own and see how you do, and then come back and see how you match up with me. All right, so if you got a range of 66.9 to 71.5 inches, good for you. So again, just to real quick walk you through it for those of you who want the explanation, middle 58%, 100% minus 58% leaves us 42% of the area split between the left and the right, so 21% on each side. So to get x, starting from the left, that's 21% of the area, okay, coming from the left, that's what I've got here. So inverse normal, 21%, mean and standard deviation gives you a height of 66.9 inches. And then for y, again, we got to start all the way down at the left. So we got 21% of the area plus that additional 58% there in the middle, for a total of 79% of the area to the left of y. So 79% as the area, mean and standard deviation gives you an upper bound of 71.5 inches for that middle 58%. When you start watching the videos for the next example, you won't even have to worry about H and I. You've already done them. If you've got questions, again, please let me know.